find out what's in this CDG karaoke system. It's been a minute since I've seen one of these. It's been a lot of minutes actually. But they are still around, but they're super fancy now. Not this old school type. But let's get right into it and see what's in it. I'm actually super curious about this one. Let's actually flip this over and take the stand off first. Get some of this bulk out of the way. Maybe, we'll see. And on this, it's interesting. There's actually super small arrows. So you can see right there next to that hole. I guess it indicates that there's a screw there. Probably more likely at the factory to indicate to the factory workers to put a screw there, not to miss one. So I don't know if that's true or not, but it seems reasonable. Alright, so we got 4 screws up here on top. And I'm trying to strip that one out apparently. Actually, I think it is stripped. There we go. Broke free. That's the bad thing about some of these super cheap screws is you barely twist it and it's done correctly and it just strips right off. So let's see if we can take this whole piece off. Alright. So this power cord, I'm just going to cut off to get it out of the way. That out of the way. And let's flip this over to the side. We have a big transformer in here, in the bottom. It is rusted to bits on there. I'm not sure why, because it doesn't look like the rest of it's wet in here. It's odd. But who knows? Alright. So let's cut this cord. And we'll show you the transformer separately. Where you can actually see it. Good angle to cut this at. There we go. Alright. Let's let that guy over to the side for a minute. So this whole base, part of the reason they put this in the base was for weight. It is super heavy. So let's see. I might be able to still get this out despite that rust. Yes. Well, we're halfway there, so I'll save my yes until we get this out of here. All right. So all this is an injection molded piece of plastic base, and this is a transformer. So if you've seen any of my other videos, you know what a transformer is. It is literally just stacked steel with copper wound in it, usually epoxy holding that together, and bigger ones like this have a steel case around the outside. You can take these apart if you like to scrap metal for the copper. They're a pain in the butt and not really worth it in my opinion, but some people do take them apart, and if that tickles your fancy, then you're more than welcome to. Let me see if I can pop these pins off real quick, just to show you the basic inside of the transformer. I'm not going to take this whole thing apart because, like I said, transformers are a nightmare to get apart. Some of the bigger ones, like they put on power poles, the big green ones you always see, are full of fluid and oil of some type, but these smaller ones aren't. All right, this is just the steel housing. Steel housing on both sides, a piece of heat resistant cardboard, and then this is the inside. Let me see if I can get to some of that to show you, or not so much. You might be able to just barely see in there some shimmer of copper. but it has epoxy mixed in with it, and then it's wrapped with this tape, and there's epoxy on the tape. It's wound around this plastic core, and then has stacked steel on it. So they're kind of cool, but they're in everything. The bigger the device, the bigger the transformer. So let's get back to this. Let's finish taking out some of these screws. Got a couple of those out. Turn it around forward for you. Get a couple more out if we can. I don't know. Yeah, we're not be able to get those out. I don't believe. I don't have a screwdriver that long. I don't believe so. Well, no. Ixnay. So we're gonna have to break it. Probably right about there. We got a couple more screws hidden down here in the handle though. Let's get these guys out. That one's stripped off. So, alright. I'm going to take this out in the garage for a minute and take care of this housing. Be right back with you. Okay, so I took this out in the garage and gave it a few whacks on the concrete. The little camera, GP camera that was there, yeah, it's gone. But let's take the rest of it apart. If we can. Alright, we're gonna need some help from the Sawzall. Be right back with you. Alright guys, so I took it down in the basement and took the Sawzall to those two bolts, I believe they're on the front, that wouldn't come out. So I just Sawzalled across it. And then it just whole thing fell apart. So here's the result. Injection molded piece of plastic, the whole back housing. We got a speaker that has a thin steel housing, injection molded back, and then you have the speaker with the felt, and then this is just a big magnet. Sometimes you can bust those off, just play with as a kid, but all that is a magnet. And on the back here, a whole bunch of pieces. So we have, let's just start taking screws apart. This is basically just a small TV screen. Nothing too fancy about it. It's held on by a little small wire rim, I guess. I don't know what you call it on here. Just like any full-size TV used to be before they all went to flat screens. Let's take these off. We'll have to get to the other two to take that completely off. And they filled a lot of these with a red epoxy. I would assume so they don't loosen over time or with shipping. So I'm just taking some of these bolts off. I'll turn around here hopefully so you can see a little bit better. Just taking several screws out. And let's pop this board off here. We'll cut some of these wires. Most of these are going to the other low-grade boards. You have all the inputs and outputs there with adjustment dials. Let's take the speaker off the other side. And we got the same thing that we did on the other one, a couple wires and a magnet. Let's just cut some of these wires, shall we? Get some of this junk out of the way. Less business to mess with. getting some of this out of the way. Let's get some more. There we go. That's pretty manageable. Alright, so let's go back over to this side, see what's holding it on. Got a little bitty screw over here, it looks like. It's barely holding on. It's holding on by a fingertip. And the bits are just falling apart everywhere, left and right. Let's cut this off here. Cut this one off. And that gives us the top of the TV, if you will. Full-size TVs, the old ones, they're the same way. They have a ton of copper in here. You can take this out. Scrapyards, they call it a copper core. So we'll get rid of that. And we got a wire coming from the board. Let's see if we can take this whole piece off or not. Let's cut some of these wires. Some of this out of the way. There we go. Injection molded piece of plastic. And then I'll give you a look here. We have two boards. One has a whole bunch of small components all over it. It has a small aluminum heat sink. I believe that's what this is as well, not 100%. Flip it over. We got several small components. Got a little processor. All right, so the other camera died. So we'll continue on with this one. So we got this, the two boards. Let's get rid of that. We have a DVD drive. If you've seen my DVD video, is essentially the same. So definitely watch that one. We'll take these little pieces off. One way or another, right? There we go. Get those out of the way. And then let's see what we got behind this. Probably just the back of the board, I would assume, but I don't know that for certain. Could be a hidden gem behind there. You never know what you're gonna find. There's some sloppy soldering over here, it looks like. Alright, we got a couple more and we'll be off with this here. Maybe, maybe not, right? Let's get this TV out of the way. I keep calling it TV. It's a TV screen. You know? Or what used to be TV screens. Now TV screens are our phone, pretty much. But get this out of the way, and just be careful that it's super sharp glass. But it's just a basically hollow glass jar. Alright, let's see if we still have that one. Ah, that's what's holding it on. Let's see what's on the back of this. We'll be about done. Let's take this small board off too while we're at it. Might as well, right? I mean, if you're gonna do it, do it. There we go. It's got these little tabs holding it. And we got little inputs or outputs, not sure what those were, but they are no more. Let's see if we can pop this board up or not. me dump some of these parts out. All right. So these are like plastic welded to the front, so there's no getting it off, but I can kind of peel it back and show you. We got a little bit of more of a low-grade board in there. And that's all that's left other than this injection molded piece of plastic. And that's all we got. All right, guys. As always, if you would, please like, share, and subscribe. If you have questions, let me know. If you have ideas for future videos, please let me know. Thank you. Have a good day.